Hello traders, and thank you very much for joining me. I hope you can hear me clearly. Let me know if you can't. This is a short presentation on how to scalp the markets, talking specifically about the indices and Forex and Bitcoin. So what I'm going to do is just run through a short presentation and give you a chance to answer any questions. The first thing is, what is scalping, and what can you realistically expect from it? And how do you scalp? So let me go ahead and start to pull some slides out. Before I do that, I'll have to go through the disclaimer. Obviously, trading involves risk. You may lose more when you deposit. Don't trade money you cannot afford to lose. That's absolutely crucial. So I've been trading for a long time, and since leaving school, in fact. But this particular system, this rules-based system, has taken me 12 years to develop and refine. I've been teaching it for over 2.5 years now, and hundreds of people have gone through the training. So, it's a highly developed rules-based system that can give you 77% success rate. And that is an independent study. That's not a figure I pulled out of the air. That is an independent, verified piece of data based on 9 months of testing 9 months data, that is. Okay, so I've even got veteran traders in my room who think that this is an excellent system and love it and trade it every day. So let's just talk about that in more detail. So first of all, why scalp? Well, I think scalping is a good idea because you spend a limited time at your desks and you can just cream off the best trades, cream off the main move of the session and then walk away. Like I said, it's got a 77% success rate, and I'll just show you a copy of the report a little later on. The other aspect of this is markets move sideways 80% of the time. Again, that's not a figure I've plucked out of the air. That is a legitimate research statistic. So if markets are moving 80% of the time, if you're looking for breakouts, then the chances are you could be damaging your account and leaving too much money on the table, because if you constantly if you're grappling against markets that are just moving in ranges, then scalping a range is a fantastic way of making consistent daily profits. It's just the question is, how do you know if you're at the top of the range and you're short? How do you know if you're at the bottom of the range? And how do you know if you have got a breakout? So for the 20% of the time that markets are going to break out, how do you know if you've got a breakout? Well, that's all covered in the system. As I've already indicated, this is about rules, and so if you've got a set of rules and you're trading a set of rules, then you're not trading your emotion. And of course, most of us have been there and done that. Most of us have started trading, trade our emotions because we don't like to lose money. Trading always involves risk, and for 33% of your time, 15 to 33% of your time in the system, you're going to get stop outs, so they hurt. So it's about managing your account, understanding how to handle a stop out and how to conduct yourself in the markets so that your winners way outstrip your losers. But we're not here to talk about losers. We're here to talk about how you get a low risk, high probability trade. All right, so don't hold, and in a market like this, I mean, it's so volatile, which is great for scalping, but it's not necessarily that great at the moment for buying and holding. Okay, so let's get on and talk about this. Rules-based, low risk, high probability. 25 pips is the target. But we're talking the trading room. Obviously, we run a live trading room once you've graduated with Scalper School, and then we talk about how you might want to leave certain trades on for bigger targets. So scalping to a lot of people is 5 to 10 pips a trade. It's not to us. It's minimum 25 pips per trade. We're looking to use leverage, respecting the size of our account in proportion to the size of our account, but we're using leverage for smaller moves. Okay, it's important that once you're in a trade that you're comfortable with that trade and relaxed about that trade, not sweating and fretting in case that goes the wrong way, goes against you. So there are 4 key periods of the day that we talk about, and the room is open for, at the moment, I'm opening the room for the Euro session and the US session because I was away for a few days in Central Europe, so I decided to let the members have more of my time. But normally we just trade the Euro session, and then there is an alert service for the US session. So effectively we cover both, but only one is a live trading room. Okay, so let's just move on. So here's a few examples. What can you realistically expect from an account? Now these, I'm just going to run through a few trades here. They're very low leverage. You don't need a particularly big account to go for £3 a point. In this particular case, this is a live account. This little blue line here, you can just make out that blue line was my entry, and this little red line is my target. So I'm looking to make £196.80 with £31 risk, and at this point I had £75 on the table. So just going to run through a few examples. So what you're seeing on the screen is the setups. These lines here are specific ranges of the day that we look at. This is a specific pivot that we trade, and that is part of the system. This is a basic default MACD, nothing fancy, nothing adjusted. Don't need to. Look here, I've got a 30 pence risk with 33 pips in the account, and I'm getting very close to target here. I've got a target of 179.70. I got £100.50p on when I did that screen dump. So the target was here. Okay, so you can see firsthand that when I talk about 77% success rate, you can see that is shown on these accounts. Another one, that's another 33 pips. The little blue line up there, if you can just make it out, the red arrow is pointing to was my entry, and my target was £360 on that. This is a screenshot of my main account. So you can see here I've got plus 325, there's a stop out, 179.36 stop out, but these are 4 winners. They far outstrip that stop out. That's the key. I'm not going to spend too much time looking at my accounts. I want to talk to you about how this works. So £30 stop out, 480 profits, 100 stop out, plus 360, plus 23, and a break even. Quite often, some of these trades here, some of these smaller ones, are probably situations where I'm looking for a bigger move. I've moved the stop to break even, or locked in the cost of the spread, and then it's come back on me. But you can see overall it's clearly a trend of these trades working out and paying me. So here we've got, this is a copy of the independent research. So I won't bore you with it, but basically it said So it was a study over 9 months of data. 22% of this particular setup, the OTR fade, were losers, 75% were winners. Now, of 67% of the 20 pip winners went on to produce more than 40 pips. 85% did more than 30 pips. 50% did more than 50 pips. So these are good setups. So that, yeah, that is a very, very impressive success rate by anybody's standards. 3 out of 4 trades. If you trade within a manageable size in proportion to your account, and you're winning 3 out of 4 trades, and each winner is bigger than any one stop out, then you've got the compound of that is significant. Potentially a good 12+%, anything up to 20% a month on a good month. Okay, so these are a quick look at some of the tools we use. Obviously, I'm not here to teach you how to scalp. This is just a quick introduction. But basically, we're looking for the open range, and we're marking off. We're trading data as well. Trading the data, the big non-farm payrolls, monthly US jobs, and inflation data, etc. And we have these are just some of the other sort of anchor charts we use. So I look at weekly pivots and fire lines. We have basic moving averages. We have a fib system on the bigger time frame, and so on. That's all part and parcel of the program. If you want to take part in this, I'm basically offering you a seat on the program, and that's a little bit about what you're going to learn. So these are data setups. We've got a setup if you get a spike that's greater than 70 pips, and a data release that generates a move that's less than 70 pips. So there are 2 types of setups there. So the different strategies include the open range break, the intraday fire line breaks, and breaks into the next session. i.e., if you trade the Euro session with us, then we would before we close the room, we'll talk to you about the levels to look for in the US session, and give you specific entries and exits for that as well. That is assuming you are trading Euro and US session. A lot of people do just trade the Euro session in the morning. So the room opens at 7:45. We're normally done by about 9:30, 10 o'clock. A lot of people get back to their day jobs at that point. Otherwise, there is, like I said, an alert service that runs through the day, and that allows you to stay abreast of the rest of the markets. Right, okay, so let's just look at today's trading. These are a few more examples. These are recent examples. This was the DAX. You can see this has got 36 pips on it. It's a short looking for, you can see these are the markups that we've got here. The white lines showing how we're marking this up. The dotted line is pivot we look for. This was this is a 70 pip move so far. It was coming into target. Target was 162. Bear with me one moment. Another 20 pip move. There was the range that we look at. There's the target, and so on. So some other examples here. This one we were managing the stop. Yeah, we locked in some profits here. This is £10 a point. We had £47 on the 176 in profit on that day. At that point, £47 on the table, and looking for a move into 400. Okay, so let me just bear with the final bit of this. If you want to learn how to scalp, go on to the Start Here session, come down to the Scalper School area, and then have a look at what we've got here. This is some details about the program. and what's included on the sessions. We are looking at Bitcoin, the pound and the DAX in the morning, and then Bitcoin and Dow in the afternoon. The next course date is the 3rd of March, so that's next Saturday. Otherwise, there's another date on the 24th of March. Now, if you come on the program, you get minimum 1 month in the live trading room, and you get daily videos, you get a weekend video with all the pivot points and key prices we're looking for, and then you get support during the week and alerts. So there's a heck of a lot involved in the package. So this package doesn't involve, it's not just paying for the 1 day training, it's paying for 4 solid weeks of in the trading room and continual support. So if you're interested in that, click on the register button, and that will take you to the form. Fill in the form first, submit, and then go to the buy now button afterwards, after you've submitted the form. Any questions on that? So it's here on the Start Here Scalper School button. Let's have a quick look at the markets today, and you'll see what we've been doing. Okay, this is how this market was lined up. This is the Dow, and you can see how once we broke out of this range here, we came and hit this dotted line, and now we are what, an hour and 40 minutes off the close, beginning to wind back up to those highs. That's one thing we did. I've been shorting the pound all week. This was how this chart was lined up. We had a key area here we were looking at. So I started shorting it on Monday, shorted into this area yesterday, and shorted this high today for very, very nice profits. That's worked out really well for us. You can see how this daily chart is lined up. So that preparation was all there ready for us to get going on that. And as you can see with this line here, this red line here, the key level of support, we're sitting on it into tomorrow. We got, I think it's manufacturing data on the UK tomorrow. So we'll be waiting for that. We'll get that out of the way, and ideally we'd like a pullback to about 850 to get short to come into this target area of 135. But to get in on a trade like that, you need to. You don't have to sit there in a trade all week. We'd teach you how to do that, but you can trade. You can just trade intraday without holding anything overnight and still make good money on these. We do cover methods of how you can get short in the early part of the week and actually trade around it for the rest of the week. Okay, so I've been talking for about 22 minutes. I want to keep this nice and short, make sure we don't eat too much into our evening. Any questions? So if you want to make these kinds of profits, if you want to make daily profits, then come with us. Join in this team of traders we've got going. Come on the program, learn these rules. You get a control sheet, you get the recap sheets, so you can master the setups. We mark the charts up that's exactly the same way every single day. So it's when you log into the trading room in the morning, you see me just quickly lining up the charts, and then we just get going.